So once you don't have that speed, you don't have that power, and you just put in the goal scoring instincts, you are dealing with a very, very, very dangerous creature. You're dealing with a monster. Earl, the Earl of Norway, man. Let's have a discussion about this kid. Because I think we have to really understand what the Earl is. So let me start with the comparisons. You can't compare the Earl and Mbappe. You can't do that. Like, that makes no sense. You see, the Earl and Mbappe comparisons is similar to the Cristiano Messi comparisons, but the only difference is Cristiano at United was actually an extremely well-rounded player, and then he just became a goal scorer. But even Cristiano at Real Madrid still had a lot more tech than Haaland. So even if the Messi Ronaldo comparison was stupid and it's made absolutely no sense, it's at least made a little bit much more sense than this whole Mbappe Haaland thing, because of what Cristiano was at Sporting Lisbon, what he was at Man United, and what he was in his early days at Real Madrid before, like, his injury and so forth. But it was still a comparison that still made no sense. Both for Mbappe and Haaland, I mean, when you just look at Mbappe and his all-round game and what he's able to do on the ball and his on-the-ball mechanics, it is substantially better than a Haaland who pretty much has no on-the-ball mechanics. Like, let's just be real, like, he has no on-the-ball mechanics. So that comparison there, it's like, it's no abuse or way to put down Haaland or anything, but it just doesn't compete to really compare Mbappe and Haaland, because Mbappe is just much more of an all-round player with a lot more footballing attributes at his arsenal as opposed to Haaland. But let's be clear here. Haaland is a specialist. And why I respect Haaland is Haaland reminds me of my era. Because Haaland is going back to that era of where it was about getting G's. Where every player had their specialist. The winger, you specialize in crossing the ball. The number 10, you specialize in creating. The central midfield, okay, you have to specialize actually in a lot of things like tackling, passing, shooting. Central defender, you specialize in positioning, tackling, winning the ball. Right back, left back, you specialize in winning your 1v1 battles and creating a good partnership with your winger on your side. Keeper, specialize in stopping shots. Striker, you specialize in scoring goals. So everyone had a specialist thing. Now, football has evolved. Everything evolves, where now the defender, you're required to do a lot more. Striker, you're required to do a lot more. But I just feel that, there are many different ways in which to win a game. And I think that's the beauty about football, because everyone has different philosophies, different strategies. If everybody had the same philosophy and strategy, football would be boring. I despised tiki-taka. I hated it. But it was a style that was effective, and it was how people viewed the game. And I have to give tiki-taka a dub for that. I didn't like it. I felt it was anti-football, but it is what it is. I hate this negative defensive football, but if it gave you a dub, it is what it is. It's your strategy. But for Haaland, he reminds me of those days of your George Weahs, your Batistutas, because George Weah, Batistuta, these strikers, all they did was score goals. And they knew that I am here and my function is to score a goal and put the ball in the back of the net, and that's it. And because I'm here to help my team win this freaking game. So all they did in training, all they ate, all they slept, all they philosophized of, all they thought about was my positioning, my movement, my anticipation, my first touch to put me in a good position to take a shot, training on my weak foot, getting in good positions, training on my long shots, perfecting my shooting technique, perfecting ways to quickly get the ball out of my feet and quickly take those snapshots, perfecting my ways of trying to play with my back to goal and with the defender, studying different defenders. Okay, this guy is fast. Okay, this guy is strong. How do I now bamboozle these different defenders? That is all strikers thought about. And for Haaland, he's a guy where all I'm thinking about is goals. How do I get goals? How do I get those goals? And you have to appreciate that. You have to appreciate that, because it's so funny how we've seen the evolution of the striker. Because let's be real, before R9, I told you, Batistuta, Weah, Gerd Muller, I think you could even throw in like Rudy Voller in there. Like the striker was all the striker did was just score goals. R9 changed everything because Ronaldo was the guy who came in and was like, actually, no, a striker can actually do more. A striker can actually be a good footballer. A striker can actually dribble. A striker can actually pass. He can actually receive the ball and actually play with the midfielders. Because up until R9, strikers, all they did was score goals. They were one-dimensional. So when R9 did that, hence you brought in Henry. Ask Henry. Henry said that one of his idols and one of the biggest players to influence his game was Ronaldo. Because that watching Ronaldo was like, wow, strikers going to be a lot more. So once he now saw what Henry did, specifically in that season, when he got double figures in goals and assists, that now just changed how people viewed strikers. And our guys were like, managers were like, wait, no. I want more from my striker. I want a lot more from my striker. But as we saw this evolution, the striker now sort of was less obsessed with getting goals and more about providing for his inside forwards. Hence why we now see like a Robert Firmino, who he get his goals, but his functional was, I'm going to drop in deep and I'm going to give to Mane and I'm going to give to a Salah. So you look around and people say, man, I can't name 5 or 6 quality strikers. Back in the day, off the top of your head, you could name 7, 8, 9 quality strikers. So it now changed. But it's funny, Haaland has now arrived and now reverted back to the striker pre-R9. Where it's about, okay, I'm just here to get goals. I'm here to put the ball in the back of the net. Like, you look at a guy like Gerd Müller. His goals to game ratio is insane. Like, before Messi had the most goals in a calendar year. If you look at Gerd Müller's goals, they were not the greatest goals. They were not the most quality goals. But if you've played football, and this is what I have to understand about Haaland, I still feel, people may disagree, comments below, the hardest thing to do in football is to dribble 2 to more players in one motion. I think that takes a high degree of technical skill to be able to properly dribble 2 to more players in one singular motion. Hence why what Maradona did in that 86 World Cup is seen as one of the greatest individual achievements ever, scoring that crazy goal. But for me, the second hardest thing to do in football is to score goals. The beauty about football is that it is difficult to achieve the win because it is difficult to score, and that is the allure of the game. So whether it's a tap-in or a rebound goal or from 2 yards, it's hard because people will look at Haaland's 5 goals and be like, come on, these are crap goals or scrappy goals. So you saying that they are crap goals shows that you've never played football, or you never really played football at somewhat of a high level. Like, even if you played school football, you played for a club or a thingy, if you played football at anywhere near somewhat of a high level for your age group, you realize that scoring goals is hard. It is, especially if you're going up against like a professional team. It's hard. Even if it's a semi-professional team, scoring goals is hard. So it's not about what the goals look like. The hard work isn't the end result. The hard work Haaland has done is to get to that tap-in. Because before you get to that tap-in, it's reading the game, anticipating what's going to happen, and then timing your movement to be there at the right time. Because most players wouldn't anticipate that. What if De Bruyne hits the bar? Am I there at the right time? But Haaland anticipated that, and because of his anticipation and his movement, what would have happened if it was not Haaland there? The defenders clear it away. But because Haaland is now thinking and is anticipating, because of his goal-scoring instinct, that allows him to be there before the defenders to pretty much tap that ball in. So that tapping is the handwork is done. Bro, how many times did people call Cristiano Tapnaldo? Oh, my Tapnaldo. But Cristiano, the reason why Cristiano scored all those goals was his anticipation, his movement, and his ability to be at the right place at the right time. So don't look at the tapping. Look at the hard work he's done before he gets to the tapping. Because I said again, probably I've never seen anybody with better off-the-ball movements and goal-scoring anticipation like Cristiano. I've never. But here we now have Haaland. Because I think we're looking at something really scary here. We're looking at something really, really scary here with Haaland, because what I'm seeing from a pure goal-scoring point of view is something quite frightening. Because there's just a few things that I saw that I'm seeing speed here. I'm seeing strength here because the guy is tall and the guy is strong. So defenders will find it hard to outmuscle him. He's also got a bit of speed, so he can go up against those other quick defenders as well. So once you don't have that speed, you don't have that power, and you just put in the goal-scoring instincts, you are dealing with a very, very, very dangerous creature. You're dealing with a monster.
Okay, look, he did it. He did it. He won the World Cup. He got the World Cup dub. And the fact that he was able to do this at his age is even crazy. And also to do it without a walking stick or a Zimmer frame is even much more impressive. All I'm saying is this. Is there a robot tax? The fact that he did it with a robot referee and not a human referee.
What records does he break? Does he break the Cristiano record? I always felt that now. So I think it's 141. Might be correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's either 140 or 141 that Cristiano is on. And he may come back to increase that. So for so long I said no. He won't break that record. That record will stand for a very long time. Haaland is in his early 20s. And he said something in his interview. He said something like after the Man City game. So he said that like he used to be watching Man City and was like, look at how many chances these guys create. And I was like, man, imagine if I was there with all these chances that the guys create. As long as he's in a team that have a high chance creation, that record can be broken. So again, he stays fit. He continues to improve his all-round game, specifically his goal scoring, and he's in a team that creates high chances. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, because obviously Cristiano is way more skilled than him. And Cristiano had a lot more footballing ability than Haaland had. But in terms of goal-scoring qualities, off the ball movement, anticipation, positioning, these dudes are similar. These dudes are similar because we're looking at a very scary dude. Look at what he's already done in the EPL right now. And what he may end up doing in terms of if he breaks the record. And look at what he just did in the freaking UCL. Because guys, he would have scored 6 or 7. Because he had 5 goals and there were about 30 minutes left. So I was like, are you saying that if you remained on the pitch for another 30 minutes with a team as trash as that Leipzig team, he would have gotten a 6 or a 7? Of course he would have gotten a 6 or 7. I mean, to drop 5 in about 60 minutes is frightening. Frightening. Imagine what they've done with another 30 minutes, because here is a guy who he's aware. He's aware. And what is crazy is he's aware of what he's doing and he's aware of what guys are saying. And I think he's like, man, let me try and, because strikers have to be extremely egotistical. They have to be. Because it's about you. You know what they always say? If the striker's team wins and the striker doesn't score, he's happy, but he's not really happy. Yeah, the team won. Cool, the team won. I didn't score. Now, if the striker scores and the team loses, damn it. I know I got my goals and everything, but the team lost. The striker scores, his team wins, job done. I'm happy. Yes, I scored. I got the goals. My goals contributed to my team winning. Boom. That is how strikers operate. That is how they think. You've got to be egotistical. You've always got to do for self, man. So, yeah, man. Guys, let's watch this space. Because I am extremely... Because football moves on. We are now living in the era of the Musiala, Saka's, Haaland's, Mbappe's, Hazard's, and so forth. So... we just have to wait and just see what this guy does. But I mean, does he break Cristiano's record? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I keep saying no, but he probably just could.